Welcome to Bay Area Home Hustle Podcast. My name is Parn Rahi. I'm joined by my partner Mike Brown.
Hey guys.
So today we're gonna have a real conversation, right?
Oh yeah.
Real conversation about what's happening in the market. What is the sentiment lies?
Yeah, what you see and what I see could be different, but
Very much so.
But what I see is it's a buyer's market. And last time we talked about this, right? I mentioned
Yeah.
it, but I'm not looking at data, all right? Not today. We're not talking about data, what we see, but
Yeah.
actually real conversations with people that come to our open house,
Right.
that actually see me in church or any social functions, ask me what's
Yeah.
going on with the market. That's what I have been hearing from them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you made a good point, right? I mean, even with our listings now, we have a couple listings on the Bay, and we've seen them, right? We're busy. We're not saying we're not busy. Our
Parties come in.
Our
man.
open houses are busy. People
Yep.
do come in, but
Yep.
they're not like no one's serious to put an offer. And that's again going down to micro markets. You know, Pacific cities are having a lot more turnaround and things like that, right? I mean, we have a listing in New York, so it's a little bit. I mean, we got groups coming in, but we're just not getting that traction.
It's only 4 years old.
Exactly.
You know,
It's a newer home, but it is a
it has water softener, right? It has
all the perks that you
all
need.
the perks that you
Yeah,
need.
solar panels,
solar
EV
panels.
charging.
We're throwing in a 76-inch,
A TV. 77 actually. 77.
But it's built in the wall, so we didn't want to mess with it.
Right.
I mean, we're waiting for the right buyer. It's always like that, right? The first person that sees this, falls in love with the house,
Right.
is going to make that offer. Now, but talking to other people. Now, here's something also in this house,
Right.
that we have this listing in Newark. It's part of a community that's still going on,
Right.
right? And the builders, and that's true, the builders are hurting,
They are.
and not just in California, but most of the country.
Yeah.
And they're throwing in a lot of perks. They're giving a lot of
Yeah.
credit, or throwing in kitchen cabinets,
Upgrades. They're throwing a lot of upgrades.
appliances.
Rates too. They're doing a lot of.
They
cheaper
have
rates.
their own rates,
Yeah.
So it's going to be challenging for our client. But again, the right person comes in, is going to love it.
Yeah.
They're going to make that offer
Yeah.
without lowballing us, and
Yeah.
then we'll get it. We'll get that deal done.
Yeah. Speaking of lowball, so yeah, we did get a lowball offer. Won't tell you exactly because we're not in contract or anything like that. But yeah, it was like $100,000 less than the list price.
That's ridiculous.
And all the comps are where we list the property, by the way. So
We do now. That is what we do. We actually look at the data,
yeah.
price it correctly.
Yeah.
We're being fair to our client.
I mean, it is a buyer's market, as you said it previously. But again, we expect an offer to come in, and we at somewhere list, maybe close to list, but not $100,000 less. That's somebody just shopping around, not very serious. So, anyways, so that's that. But yeah, going back to the whole sentiment. So the sentiment is, like you said, it is changed. It is on the buyer side right now.
And it's happened all of a sudden.
It's
like all of a sudden someone jammed on the brakes.
It took a while. I mean, the rates were not the detractor here, right?
Right.
Rates were not that stopped people. I think it's all this uncertainty right now in the market, right? I mean, the tariffs, the recession fear. It's every other day you have a new outlet story that's being perpetuated and blown out of proportion.
But
right?
you also
it's
know
creating fear.
What I'm noticing also, the open houses we've been doing in Newark.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of first-time buyers.
They are.
Right, they're coming in. They have not much knowledge on what's going on.
Right.
They're just like, oh, we've been looking for the past month, or some.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I had a couple that come in. We've been looking for like half a year. I go, why?
Yeah.
What's holding you?
Yeah, no, that's very, very true. And sometimes what it comes down to is the agent on the other side too. I mean, they're just not doing their job properly, right? They're just not teaching their buyers.
You need to educate
the pros and cons of wherever they're looking. I mean, looking for 6 months and not having to find something. I mean, that says a lot, right?
Yeah.
Especially in this market, because right now, like you said, it is a buyer's market. I mean, they have the whole advantage here, right? They can put in an offer and have all the contingencies in place, and even ask for credits and so forth, right? If needs to be. So that's surprising.
We need to get the conversation going. I mean,
right.
if we are listing it spot on, and if you have an interest, you don't want to, because it's a buyer's market and there's new construction, new homes being built in that area.
Yeah.
Then come in with something that is, that we can continue the conversation, right?
Yeah.
It's negotiation.
Yeah.
But now, okay, that being said, all right, not all areas are like that.
no.
Didn't we have something in San Ramon?
Yeah, one of the other team members, another team that's affiliated, had actually 2 or 3 listings that they had offers within the first 2 weeks. They were actually asked to put in preemptive offers, which they said no to. So yeah, there's interest out there. And again, you gotta go back to specific location, what that house offers in terms of functionality, where it's located, right? What sort of upgrades it had.
You want to tell
Yeah.
audience what a preempt offer is?
Yeah, preemptive offer. If you list the property, let's say this weekend, today, and this weekend you have open houses and stuff, but between the open house and listing as of today, somebody like tomorrow or the day later comes out with a offer that they're very interested. The client's very interested. They want to put in an offer that and they want to move forward with it. And sometimes it's okay. But remember, we go off of our sellers' requirements at their direction too. They can tell us like, okay, I don't want to entertain any preemptive offers. I want to do open houses for 2 weekends, and then after that, I'll set a date for offers and so
Right,
forth.
right.
But some sellers like, I really don't care. Put it on the market, and if somebody wants to offer at or where I'm at or above that, I'm ready to entertain it. So
Right. So it's
which
different.
all depends.
Right. It all depends, and we always do requests from our clients, whether it's the buyers or the sellers, right?
Right.
So if they said, as Parm said, yeah, someone came in really heavy with an offer,
Yeah.
but I still want to do 2 open houses, that's
Yeah.
okay too.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's just what our clients want. Remember, we're just performing our fiduciary duty to our clients end of the day.
To the best we can.
To the best we can in a professional manner, right?
Right.
Not everybody does, but that's a different story.
Let's leave that alone. We've run into so many of these guys. But anyway.
But yeah, so the sentiment, going back to all this, the sentiment has definitely changed. On the buyer side, people are cautious. People are not moving forward right away. Again, going back to the micro market and so forth, but it's just all this fear, all this going on in the economy, right? I mean, the tariffs are just
tariffs on, tariffs off. But
Yeah,
it gives less credibility.
yeah,
you
it's
know.
so much uncertainty.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the FOMC meeting, which is happening tomorrow. I believe they're meeting
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. Reports should come out.
Yeah, so I mean, the hope was that the Fed was going to come out and announce a rate cut tomorrow, but that's probably won't happen.
There have been hints that they won't do it this
Yeah,
time.
I mean, the inflation, although inflation was cooling, but with the tariffs from month and a half now,
Right.
near, it's going to take effect as inventory starts slowing down from foreign countries and so forth. And likelihood of things getting more expensive is very near right now, and that's going to create inflation. So I'm pretty sure the Fed won't announce any rate cuts anytime soon.
No.
Maybe
they
they'll
won't
have
be
to do
doing
one in August now, right? Because I don't think there's anything in June and July. Could be wrong about that.
it. Nothing is certain. We could be
nothing is
wrong.
certain. I could be entirely wrong, right? I mean, we'll see. It's just wait and see what happens. That's the sort of deal.
But here's something I just thought about while you were telling them about the rate cuts and everything.
Yeah.
So right now with the uncertain market,
Right.
right? With nothing is certain other than certain areas, micro markets got reductions,
Yeah.
and some are holding their value, and maybe even more. What can our audience do to learn about this? What can they do to prepare themselves for this?
We're talking about buyers or sellers.
Both. Let's do the sellers first.
I mean, if you're a buyer, right? I mean, be prepared. If you've been sitting on the sideline for all this time, right? I would encourage you to work with your loan officer, right? Get pre-approved, have that down payment ready, right? A lot of times, what's happening
Cut down
right
on
now
your
is-
debt.
Cut down on your
Yeah.
debt for sure, but lots. I mean, the current Market Matters put out a report the other day, and I forgot to actually post that. And they put something like, I can't remember the percentage, but I think they're saying like majority of the buyers that are buying right now are paying less than 20% down. So obviously they're using FHA loans,
Right.
or
right.
some sort of special
That's a pretty
program
big
or
number
something.
now.
It was a big number. I
Yeah.
just don't remember what the number was. Anyways, long story short, have those conversations with your loan officer, because there is a product out there for everyone, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
just have
not
to
fixed
explore.
for everybody.
It's not fixed. It's not all, one shoe fit all kind of size. It doesn't work that way. This is going to be very unique to you, your situation, your credit, your savings, and so forth, right? So if you're a buyer, I say this is probably a perfect time for you to purchase a property if you can. If you can afford the monthly payment on whatever that desired amount is on the purchase side, and you can afford that payment in a very healthy manner and have some sort of emergency fund as well,
Right.
then I think this is a perfect time for you to buy a home. Don't worry about the rates. The rates will come down at some point, right? And when it does, you can always refinance.
That's
But
why
for now,
that's why we always encourage you to talk before you look for homes or go start,
yeah,
open houses or home hunting, or talk to your real estate agent.
yeah,
Talk to your lender first. He should be your first guy that you should talk to,
100%.
and provide whatever documents or paperwork that he needs.
Yeah,
Then you'll find out how much house you can buy.
100%. And then on the seller side, on the flip side of this, on the selling side, if you are considering selling your home in this market, I think there's a couple of things you have to do. One of the first things I would do, um, obviously work with your real estate agent
Right.
to determine what the property will sell for. And here's the thing, like what the comps are saying 30 days ago, it won't be relevant. It's changing so much
Yep.
now. There's so much. The situation is so fluid, right? And
Right.
what worked 30 days ago might not work now, given your location and where your property is and what sort of upgrades it has, right?
And the condition of your property.
Right.
Palm made a really good point, but I wouldn't go 30 days, maybe
Right.
even 5 days. That's why I said that you need to get on your agent. If you're a real estate agent, it's got to be up on things.
Right.
He's going to say, hey, the value jumped up 10,000 or dropped down 12,000.
Yeah.
Things change every day.
Yeah. So I would do that. That's one thing. And number two, whatever price you come up with, remember, end of the day, what is a comp? A comp is it's something that someone's willing to pay for, and when it closes, that it becomes a comp, right? So if you list it for, let's say, $1 million, but you property don't fetch any offers at $1 million, but you get an offer for $900,000, but then that's what somebody's willing to pay for that product, right?
Right.
Whether they are paying for it based on comps or not, but that's end of the day, that's the value of your product, right? I mean,
Right.
It's only so much, right? And the other thing I have to do is, in this market, if you're a seller, be patient.
Yes.
You gotta have a lot of patience.
Yes.
Right? I mean, sometimes they'll feel like, okay, my agent's not doing his job. We did open houses, we did this, we have no offers. It's not their fault. I can guarantee that much, right? There's so much uncertainty, so much.
Somebody in our team also is going through this, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's people on both sides, right? I mean, remember, end of the day, I mean, these agents, I mean, this is their source of income, right? It's not like they have another job or something and they're just do this on the side. They're not, right? So you gotta have a lot of patience in this market. This isn't a market where you list the property and it's gonna
go pending in 3 days.
Yeah, fetch like 10 offers or something.
Yeah.
Again, some do, but not every property out there does.
Location.
Right. Bay Area is very different.
Okay.
We are very unique situation here. Some of our cities are moving faster, some are slower, and so forth. But nationally, if you look at what's happening nationally right now, properties are, I mean, there's a lot of inventory.
Right.
They're not selling at what it should be. There's a lot of price cuts.
You and I read a lot of data, okay? So it's something just came by this morning to me. San Francisco,
Yeah.
right? Very exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Even not so nice areas still sell over $1 million, right?
Yeah. It's San Francisco.
San Francisco has dropped almost 5%.
Yeah. And
in value.
And condo market in San Francisco, I mean, since in the last few years, is down dramatically.
Yes, because of condo. Well, look at the new condos. Their HOAs are about
$1,000.
$800. Yeah, $1,000.
Yeah, but they do have a lot of amenities too.
Right, but yeah, you can use them.
Right, but with, again, the sentiment on that side is, I mean, we just sort of went off a little tangent. So anyways, on the seller side, so price it right. Make sure you have a lot of patience. And just go with that. It's gonna be a week at a time. Your property may sit on the market for 30 days or even longer.
Don't have to worry. You'll get the
but
right
it will
buy.
sell.
Yep.
There's somebody out there that's willing to pay for
That's
what you
right.
want.
Right.
We're just gonna have to have patience. Okay.
Right.
Now going back to the condo situation in San Francisco.
Okay.
Just in general. So what the other senses is that, especially when we talk to some of these buyers and sellers that come in,
Right.
people are asked to come back to work, and people are moving. Remember, we
Right,
had a
right. People are
conversation
moving.
with a couple clients this weekend too.
Yep.
People are locating jobs from like different states to here, so they're
Right.
buying for that reason and selling there.
Or
so forth.
ours have moved to somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's another thing happening right now too, that there's a greater push to bring people back into the office spaces, right?
Right.
Especially like San Francisco. San Francisco is coming back up, believe it or not, right? More and more folks are asked to come back to work. And
3
be at
days
work.
now, I heard.
Yeah, 3-4 days,
Yeah.
or maybe all of the days. Especially if you're working in the city, you're asked to come back.
Right.
So I think things are changing. Things are shifting back to where they were pre-pandemic,
Right.
and it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think again on these tariff front and what's happening in the market now, it will go away as well too. It's not gonna stay long,
No,
right?
no.
I mean, we're at some point we're gonna start seeing the pain, right? Consumers will start seeing the pain
Right.
greater. Maybe we're not feeling it right now, but I mean, again, if you cut off inventory of a product specifically today, you're gonna feel like 30 days down the line, especially when that product becomes
Right.
expensive.
Here's another thing that I noticed. People that during the pandemic moved out of state.
Yeah.
They could still work remotely.
Yeah,
Let's say they bought in Omaha, right?
that's changing.
One third the price of our value here. But eventually, if they want to keep that salary that they're
Yeah.
hiding Bay Area, they need to sell their property in Omaha and come back here.
Yeah, so that's
So-
so second homes. I mean, there's a lot of that too.
That's a lot of
there's
going on,
folks that
yeah.
are selling because of that reason too.
Yeah,
It's just,
they need to come back.
yeah, it's just those changes will it's adding to the market, right? It's bringing in inventory that we didn't have before, and on the other side is we don't have a lot of buyers that we had before too, right? But if you cut down the rates and bring these buyers back into the market, then in the Bay Area we're still gonna have an inventory issue. We have inventory today, but 6 months down the line, if these rates continue to move down, which they haven't today, I understand, which they will though, you're gonna have the same challenges we had before pre-pandemic.
Here's an observation that I saw about a month ago. Whenever there is a rate deduction,
Yeah,
people come out. Is out of the woodwork. They come.
yeah,
They go to open houses.
they run.
Yeah,
they do.
whether they make an offer or not, that's not
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. It's that all of a sudden you see new faces coming out and says, "How long have you been looking?" "Oh, just this month and in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks."
Yeah.
And then right away, it's because of the rate
It's kind of
change.
like it's that, like, when you're at a department store or something, you have for sale sign like 60% off, and people are like, yeah, let me run and go get this 60% off item.
Right.
It's the
Even,
same
they
story.
may not need it.
It's the
but
same
that's-
story. I
yeah.
mean, even if you cut down the rate by 50 basis points,
That's
right?
a lot, though.
It
Yeah.
it helps. If
Yeah.
$200 on their down payment, I mean, not down payment, sorry,
Your monthly payment.
monthly payment,
Yeah.
it helps, right?
Yeah,
So people are run to it. They're like, okay, let me get on this.
Let me see what's
rate
out
now.
there,
Let me see
and
what's
then
out there.
lo and behold, they find something that is fit their budget,
Yeah.
fit their monthly expense, and they love it. Boom, you got a contract.
Yep.
I'm using your boom.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I think that's what's happening in the market right now, right? So be patient and go out there and see if you can make it happen.
Yep, guys. Thanks for watching.
That's all.
Bye now.
See you guys.